so excited to be here in Liverpool. Thank you for having me. Thank you. It is amazing, you guys. It is so amazing to see what this country's made of. In or out, the UK is awesome, and I really believe in that. And I love the North. I've loved coming up here. This is not on script, but just so you know, I love coming up here and discovering Liverpool, Manchester, and all the beautiful cities. So well done, you. Thank you. Now, for my talk, if I don't fall over, I'm just going to go for it. Are you guys crazy? Honestly, who here is crazy? You're a little crazy, right? Are any of my exes here? All right, well, I'm a little bit crazy. Fair enough, yeah? But crazy is defined as what Albert Einstein said, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Okay, so let's take cybersecurity. I'm a certified ethical hacker, believe it or not. And I do believe that if we continue to do the same thing over and over again, well, we're not going to get anywhere. And if you walk back the last 5 years and you attend all the major trade shows, and you ask all the big vendors, what do I do to secure my network? What do I do about my perimeter? Well, they'll give you a nice song and dance about an IDS system, an IPS system, an AV, a firewall, an encrypted USB. Wow, am I safe, right? And you go home feeling all good about yourself because nothing can happen, right? Right? Oh, but wait a minute. Something is happening. In fact, hacks are continuing to happen every single day. So why are we continuing to do the same thing? At the end of the day, guys, this isn't about automating another tool. This isn't about another firewall. This is about humans fighting humans, cognitive behavioral problems. So now I'm going to ask you a next question. What does hacking mean to you? When I say hacking, does everybody get freaked out? Do you quiver at the word hacker? Do you think of a dark, scary guy that doesn't shower and eats pizza pockets and lives in his basement? Yeah? I know a lot of those. It's all right. Yeah? But here's one thing. Hackers are not all one shape and size. They don't all come from one place, and they certainly don't all have the same intentions, right? So now I'm going to invite you to think a little bit differently, okay? 2.5 years ago, I started running these events as a response to the death of Aaron Swartz. Who knows Aaron Swartz? Do you remember the boy? Yes. He was a very dear friend of the family. And when we lost him, it was a tragedy all around. Because here's what's happening. More people are getting connected, right? That means more devices are online and smart. Your one computer now, with 65,535 ports, is connected to your phone, connected to your tablet, connected to your smart brakes, your smart diaper bag, your smart microwave, everything's smart, right? Suddenly you have hundreds of thousands of ports to manage. So you move from a little port-driven society into your own personal telecoms company. How is government and industry going to keep up with that? And to top it all off, attackers can stay inside your network for over 200 days, 225 to be exact. Yeah, and you don't even know about this, right? And we act surprised that we're continuously being hacked. Oh, but I got all those automation tools. I should be good to go, right? Right? No. Because look at these guys. Every single one of them continues to be hacked, and I personally was hacked 14 times last year. It's awful. It is the worst experience ever. And the one thing that we keep seeing is not only the disconnect and rise of escalated attacks, we're seeing the word hacker constantly thrown aside and kids locked in a box for the rest of time because of something they did as a teenager. So now I'm going to invite you to take this word hacker, and we're going to raise it to the -1 power of itself, which becomes inverted, for all my math geeks out there, right? And we're going to turn this word hacker from criminal to critical. And the reason why is because we need to set a new definition. And that is that hacking is not about stealing credit cards. And it's not about getting in and taking your identities and selling them on the dark net, regardless of what the media tells you. It tells you a lot of other stuff, too. So let's look at this. Hackers, stealthy, persistent, data-focused. A lot of great successful people, data-focused, stealthy, persistent, right? And the more and more devices we get connected, the more that we're exposing to kids at such an early age, the more I say, hold up, who's teaching these guys responsibility? well, you can't teach an 8-year-old ethics. They don't have any reverence for law enforcement. Well, you're right, until you start talking to them. Last summer, my cousin's kids, age 5, 8, and 11. Jen, please teach us how to hack. Please, 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 please. 5, 8, and 11. Okay, sit down. We're going. So I got them to get their PCs out, taught them a little bit of command prompt, showed them how to make their computers sing to each other. They loved it, right? And they couldn't stop. They wanted more. Give us more, Jen. So they did a quick little YouTube search, and we found how to hack your school VPN. Please, Jen! I mean, God, the amount of like squealing. I've never seen this kid be more excited. He's 8, right? I was like, all right, go ahead, click on it. And just as they were about to, I was like, hold on, I need to ask you a few questions. First of all, my foot really hurts. First of all, would you go to your school at night? No. Why? The 5-year-old in my lap looks up to me and she says, because the lights are off. Fair enough, smart kid. Right, what else is going on? The doors are locked. Excellent. But look at that window. And look at that big brick by that window. I'm just going to throw it in, knock out the window. We can get in. Yeah, school at nighttime. You know what they said to me? Jen, that's breaking the law. Funny. Didn't you guys just want to hack the VPN? Oh. Right? Tick-tock. Suddenly, we're starting to connect dots here. So no, an 8-year-old doesn't wake up with reverence for law enforcement, but they do understand right from wrong. Because you're good parents and good teachers and good members of society. And just the same as we legislate children behind a wheel of a car, we need to take action behind surfing the internet. Another kid comes home to my friend in Palo Alto and proceeds to tell me girls' passwords are shorter than boy passwords. I was like, oh, yeah. Mom's like, right, what'd you do? He says, well, I gained admin rights into my school system, and then I got all the passwords from the faculty, teachers, and staff, and then worked my way into students. Mom's like, that's totally illegal, right? And I'm like, tell me how you did it. Walk me through how this, yeah? Before Mom's like on the phone, calling everybody to apologize, he just says, Mom, it can't be illegal. It's too easy. It's too easy. So if we're just throwing kids in a box because it's too easy, and yet we continue to have our devices connected and hacked, do you guys see where I'm going here? There's a problem that we need to address. And not only that, there's a massive skill shortage. I get a lot of crap because I work with boys in the system. A lot of the boys that were arrested at 16 and now out at 20 want to go build their little tech startup, and they're facing all kinds of whoa. Computer Misuse Act, whoa, broke the law, whoa. Now, I don't condone criminality at all, but come on. He's 20 years old. He's got the rest of his life in front of him. What, are we going to call him a criminal for something he did at 16? Wake up. We need this skill. Why are we shipping them across the pond? We need these guys. You break the law, too bad. You got to work for Her Majesty's government now. Show us what you can do. It is a waste of skill to continue to act like we do not need this kind of cyber intelligence. The thing is not all these kids are the easiest to deal with. Some of them have got disabilities. Some of them aren't exactly the most social, right? So there's all kinds of hang-ups that make people scared. But here's what it is, really. There are two sets of hackers, black hats and white hats. And what I want to do is I want to channel that black hat energy, especially those kids borderline, right? Show them, wow, do you have a lot of opportunity on the right side of the law. Look at all that you can do. Come here and hack all the things, ethically and compliantly, of course. Yeah? Come build robots with me. Let's talk to space. This is what I do, and I've been doing for 2.5 years. We just became a new startup because, well, it just made sense, right? And I look around and I look at these boys that come over. A lot of them are gamers. They haven't had a friend ever in real life. Most of them have never talked to each other in real life. They sit in dark rooms and talk on chats, and we act surprised when they get into trouble, right? Because remember what I said earlier, it's too easy. When no one's looking, God, you can do a lot of stuff, right? It's time we wake up and reset the bar. Why? Because look at all we get to do. Last week we sent packets to space. That's right, you heard me. We talked to the International Space Station. They answered my tweet. I know, I felt really cool. My little space lady in the front row. Yeah, I was like, wow. Women unite, right? And every time I meet a girl who's like, I want to learn to hack, I'm like, right, come sit next to me, glue yourself to my hip, and don't you leave, because I'll teach you everything you got to know, right? Because, yeah, space is a big issue. When you can compromise IP addresses along an entire route of a satellite, wow, that's a lot of time. What else do we do? Well, this thing works. All right, we build, fly, and operate our own drones. That's right, I 3D print them in my basement. We take them out and we fly them, right? It's awesome. You guys are saying, oh my God, you're encouraging this? And what are you gonna do when I tell you I teach them lock picking as well? That's right. Everybody get out your lock picks. You, sir, come on, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Now, what does this do? This owns the conversation from the beginning. Physical security is the easiest way to break into hacking because it gives somebody something tangible, physical. If they can go through the process of knowing what it's like to lift every single pin inside that barrel and that beautiful feeling of when it releases, oh, you feel like a mastermind, right? And that's just a lock. Imagine what you can do online. But rather than wait for it to break the law, let's channel it and give it something to do, because drones are awesome. So rather than wait for them to break the law, let's make the law, because, well, they don't exist yet. And we're making them now, because it's so important to capture this energy, this curiosity, this amazing, amazing set of skills that very few of us understand. But instead of being scared by it, we need to embrace it. Let it empower us. Because guess what? We also talk to radios. And we talk about, you remember the early days? Wozniak was an amateur radio guy. Yeah, and Andreessen did say that software is eating the world. So we need to be able to understand how it goes. Go back to the basics, right? When a computer is, you know how we're moving everything into computer cloud infrastructure? Where is that going? Where is that information? Well, it's talking to satellites. How do we communicate with it? Through radio transceiving. And we need to teach kids now. These are the skills they need to know, right? So I challenge every single one of you, don't be afraid of the word hacker. Don't be scared because some kid got in trouble and he automatically deserves to go to jail. No, he needs to own up and take responsibility for his actions. And that doesn't mean sitting in a box thinking about all the ways to, materialize criminality, because that's exactly what happens when they go to jail. We need to give them a place to use that skill, to empower that, because it's nothing short of amazing. I am the first one to tell you. These guys that I work with are not your average boys and girls. And this is why, even now in this digital economy, we love to play with computers. We love new technology. Let's understand it and set the bar of respect now. Not wait till it's too late. At our last Hacker House weekend, I asked the boys, what do you really want from this, guys? What is your takeaway from this? And one of the boys said, I want it to be the ethical hacking standard for the industry. I want to be part of it. And I've learned that I can work with people I don't necessarily always like, but I value my importance through the skills that I contribute. And I'm thinking, wow, this guy was in and out of jail 7 times for hacking when he was younger. So he made a cognitive choice to be better. And we can do the same. Because at the end of the day, we choose how technology changes our lives. It's not just, oh, I'm hacked. Oh, yeah? We make cognitive behavioral decisions on how best to mind our devices. At Hacker House, we talk about one of the core values of bono pastare, being a good shepherd, right? So being good to your friends and families and colleagues. And I take it one step further to your devices. It's no longer okay to play a victim. You should be inspired by this technology and how it's changing your world. Because I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of being crazy. Doing the same thing over and over is not working. So who's with me? Thank you very much. Ah.